Alright folks, I'm going to go over how to try your first digital painting exercise and how to install your tools. So the first thing you need to do is open Photoshop, and you're going to go up here to the top, File, Open, and you need to go to the Digital Art folder. And you're going to go to Digital Art 1 Project Files, Digital Painting, and then the Control Paint Blending Worksheet. This worksheet is originally from the website Control Paint, which is a great resource to learn digital painting if it's something that you want to continue on with. So rather than use the brushes that Photoshop supplies for you, I want to give everyone the same tools to work with here. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to Window, Tool Presets. And I've already installed the tool presets, but let me show you how to do it. You're going to have some different tools here. Please make sure that this current tool only box is unchecked. I'm going to click these 4 little lines up here, click replace tool presets, and you're going to go, you might be on a page that looks like this. You need to go back into the digital art folder. However you'd go about doing that, sometimes the server is more cooperative than other times. Digital art, project files, digital painting, and then you want this Control Paint plus Basic plus 3 plus TPL file. Okay, open. If you read this, it tells you to import as brushes, but we're going to load as tools. Okay, so these are the tools you're going to work with. They are preset for you so that everyone's kind of working with the same tools. I'll quickly go over them. This is the technical pen. The technical pen just works like sort of like a regular pen. Okay, soft round brush. All right, hard round brush, much more like a marker. The flat brush. Okay, kind of gives you these sort of boxy lines. And there's the soft eraser, which erases softly, kind of fluffy like, and the hard eraser, which erases with a hard edge. Okay, they're pretty straightforward and they're named exactly what they are. And then again, make sure that this current tool only box is unchecked.
Okay, with my brush presets loaded and my my worksheet up here, I'm going to get started. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating what is kind of like a value scale, but with paint on the computer. If you've ever taken Intro to Drawing at Spalding, you know we love a value scale, and they are incredibly useful, and it's really a skill we need to practice here. Now before I start, I'm going to make a new layer. You're always welcome to tap the New Layer button here at the bottom of this panel, but it might be worth learning the shortcut, which is Command-Shift-N. You'll get this pop up right here, and click OK, or hit Enter, and you'll have a new layer. So that's the shortcut for a new layer. It's always wise to do everything on a new layer. You can always consolidate them down later, but you can't, once they're on there, you can't go back if you work directly on a layer you didn't mean to. All right, so let's get started. Your new best friend is going to be the Alt-Option key, which is the sampling key. Okay, this brings up my eyedropper so I can sample a color. You've used this on many other projects here in class, and it's a super handy thing. So I'm going to hold Alt-Option. I'm going to make sure I'm on my soft round brush, and I'm going to start to fill in this middle square. Don't worry about staying inside the lines. Be reasonable, but don't worry about staying inside the lines. Now, what you're going to do is I'm going to go over here and sample this dark blue, and with a very light touch, go over top of this. Now right where these edges kind of meet up, I'm going to click and sample again, because what's happening, I'll zoom in, what's happening is Photoshop is giving me a color right in between the two colors, right here. Okay, so it's a mixture of this light blue and this dark blue, right here along this edge. So I'm going to sample right there, and I'm going to paint right over top of this, and that is a beautiful middle color between these two. Okay, Now I'm going to do the same procedure for this one here on this side. So I'll sample that middle color, go over it here, sample this one, very lightly, light pressure, and then sample right along the edge, and I will get a color that's kind of in between the two. If you're trying to blend two colors together, you sample right along the edge of the two, and you'll get something that is a mix of the two. And you can get a pretty seamless fade or gradient. Okay, same thing on this side, sample here, paint it in, sample here, paint that in, sample right at that edge, okay, right on the edge, and you can kind of blend colors together. Work my way back. So again, if you've ever done a value scale, you know that it takes a little fiddling back and forth to get it to be a nice smooth fade, but you can totally get there. Okay, so this looks pretty messy, but it is a nice smooth mix from this blue to this blue over here. And you can just use the hard eraser and you can just clean it up. Not a requirement necessarily, but it does help make everything look a little neater. Okay, so all right, there we go. There's my value scale. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to this side and blend these two, blend two of these circles together. Okay, same method as before, but this is probably more what you're going to need to be able to do in an actual painting. You're going to need to be able to blend two things that are right next to each other together. So I'm going to use my Alt-Option key and sample, and just a light touch. Again, sample right there at the edge, and try to blend the two colors together as seamlessly as possible. Just always keep a finger on that Alt-Option key and try to get a color that's in between the two colors you are trying to blend. All right, that's pretty good. I could kind of mess with this a little more, but I'll leave it up to you. Okay, try it in these three different dots, and then you're going to go to File, Save As, and you're going to name it last name, first name, blending. Okay, make sure this says PSD right here, and make sure it says format is a Photoshop document, and you're going to drop that right in the turn in folder for me, and then you are good to go. Okay, so that's the first worksheet. Thanks for sticking along with me, and look forward to seeing what you guys can do.